This is the Afro Perspective Podcast, the home of over-opinionated young voices.
What have we got on our...
Right, so hot topics right now.
Hot topics, yeah. Let's start with hot topics.
You have to do the hot topic.
Hot topics.
Right, so the hot topic today, well, for me anyway today, all over my social media, all over my news feed, was Nick Cannon. And Nick Cannon being dropped from, is it Viacom?
Yeah, Viacom.
Viacom, based on some of the comments he's made in an interview, as far as I was aware.
Yeah.
Right? I know you know a little bit more about it, but a little discussion about it before. Tinashe, you want to lead?
Okay, yeah, so I'll give you the backstory. So basically, Nick Cannon has been fired from his MTV show Wildin' Out and other work for the channel's parent company, which said he had promoted anti-Semitic comments. ViacomCBS said a recent episode of his podcast, Cannon's Class, promoted hateful speech and spread anti-Semitic conspiracy theories. In response, he said he does not condone hate speech and hit out at an oppressive and racist infrastructure. The star also presented The Masked Singer, which is made by Fox. He created Wildin' Out, an improv series that has had 15 series, which will now come to an end.
I did not know that.
He has also hosted a string of shows for the Viacom CBS-owned Nickelodeon channel over more than 20 years and was named chairman of spin-off Teen Nick in 2009. In a statement, the company said, ViacomCBS condemns bigotry of any kind and we categorically denounce all forms of anti-Semitism.
Don't laugh, let's deal with it properly.
It's added, while we support ongoing education and dialogue. Okay, let me repeat this. It's added, while we support ongoing education and dialogue in the fight against bigotry, we are deeply troubled that Nick has failed to acknowledge or apologize for perpetuating anti-Semitism, and we are terminating our relationship with him. In the 30 June episode of Cannon's Class, the presenter interviewed former Public Enemy rapper Professor Griff, who left the group in 1989 after saying Jews were wicked. Okay, so I see where they're going with this.
Okay. Yeah.
I see where they're going with this.
Wait, hold on.
So Professor Griff claimed...
Before our show gets shut down.
Professor Griff claimed to Cannon that he was talking about Jews controlling the media and said, "I'm hated now because I told the truth." Cannon added, "You're speaking facts." The presenter called Professor Griff a legend, and he also said the Semitic people are black people and that you can't be anti-Semitic when we are the Semitic people.
Okay, so I have a question. I don't know if you can Google this right now for me. What is the definition of anti-Semitic? Yeah, I know I'm putting you on the spot. This is why I'm asking to Google it.
Because I think it's basically racism against Jewish people of Jewish descent.
They have their own little class for racism then, so it's not just racism for Jewish people.
Yeah.
So what's the racist word for black being racist against black people? So hold on a second. We get a general term, and Jewish people get anti-Semitic.
Yeah. Anti-Semitism is like.
And I want my own term at this point. Then
no, it's obviously magnified by the fact that there's an acknowledgement of the Jewish Holocaust, whereas there's no acknowledgement
of the 400 years of slavery.
There's never been an apology for the Jewish for the African Holocaust.
Hostile to or prejudiced against Jews.
I want a word. I'm not even joking. I didn't even notice because people keep talking about this anti-Semitist word, and you know what? Cool, you have your word for whatever it is, but let's not try and put these things together. Jewish people went through potentially a problem for about 8 years tops, if that. And if you're gonna compare that to 400 years and counting, I want a word. I want a word. Why is it not just racism and not anti-Semitism? Like, I want a word. I'm not even joking. I'm being petty right now, by the way. No one's even thinking about it. I keep hearing this word anti-Semitism coming back, and it just irks me because it's like, so what are you actually talking about?
I think it's it speaks to their influence.
What does it show?
No, it
what does it show?
Their power and their influence.
Okay then.
They can get a word, yeah.
Okay, and what can you and leading on to black business, what can you do with reparations? Yeah, you can take that money and start businesses and create infrastructure. Yeah, which we've never had a chance to be able to do that. And the more I look into it, the more angry I actually start to get. At first, I'm like, you know what? I can understand why you can't give black people reparations.
This story
but then I'm
sounds like they've been trying to get Nick out for. They were just
No,
waiting
I
for
saw.
him to say
I
something.
saw. No.
They were waiting for Nick to slip up.
I forgot. He's doing the Dr. Sebi recommend. Oh my god!
You dropped some knowledge there that we've completely.
I completely forgot. Yeah, he's out here causing trouble. They've been seeing this guy going around with his turban and like, we have to get this guy.
That's deep.
Yo,
That's what I said.
We have to protect Nick, We actually have to protect him.
Because Nick might not.
Okay, here's the thing. Do you know the thing that's always beyond me is when you look at the economic structure, right, in America or anywhere, I wouldn't say anywhere, but
anywhere.
And you look at where the Jews are on the economic ladder, right?
You have to be very careful with the statement, by the way. But yes,
the thing that I don't understand is I'd like for somebody or even a Jewish person to explain to me why it's so offensive to state things that people can see. Well, I don't understand why. I don't understand how. It's like it's very easy to offend
somebody who's Jewish,
and it's very easy to offend. There's certain protected characteristics. Which I made a point earlier on. I was like, the consequences of anti-Semitism and homophobia they far outweigh the consequences of anti-black racism, right? Bill Maher, Bill Maher. The guy went on national TV and said something like he said the word house nigger, if you remember, and he ended up having that dialogue with Ice Cube and Ice Cube.
But he survived.
He survived his career. Do you know what I mean?
It's commonly known if you go against anything, if you offend Jewish people, and it's just a fact. If you offend Jewish people, you're cancelled. Yeah. Look at what's that white lady's name? Is it Megan Fox? She said something that was derogatory towards Jews in Transformers. I know you don't really watch Transformers, but I do.
I watch Transformers. What was it?
Is that why she watched Shanice? They dropped her in a hot second.
What did she say?
I don't remember. I don't want to repeat it in case I get it wrong. But nevertheless, she said something, and it was like, I'm being treated like like a Jew in the Holocaust or something to that effect. And it's derogatory. And have you seen her since?
I didn't really.
Think about it. Have you seen her since Transformers?
No.
And she was the hottest star. Yes, they got a new girl. They weren't playing around. And so have you seen her since in Hollywood? Once. No, you have not.
She was up and coming.
Up and coming. She was on fire. She wasn't even up and coming. She was the go-to girl. If you wanted a white girl who was pretty, that that's gonna fill that role, it was Megan Fox, and they got rid of her quick time, and her career is done.
And because of that,
and it shows you. So it's like, okay, so look at the consequences between offending a Jewish person and black people offending black people.
You can say what you want. You can say what you want about that.
Oh yeah, anybody can say what you want about black people. You're gonna keep your job, and it's literally that simple. Yeah, I've seen what to talk about, and I haven't got the exact example, but I remember what just about happened. I remember there was a BBC guy, and he
Top Gear.
Oh, don't even mention Top Gear.
Was it not him?
No, Top Gear. Yeah, he was on about his 7th chance to Top Gear. Yes, Jeremy Clarkson was on about his 7th chance at least at Top Gear. Yeah, and now he's still on TV. Yeah. And he's got the baddest car show on the road.
There's a dude, I forgot his name, but he said something. The black dude, mixed race dude, he said something about, I'm sure it's worth. Not Trevor, but he said something about, he was talking about, I'd rather whatsoever, and he's mentioned some music owned by some fat Jewish guy or something like that.
Oh yeah, who was it?
I forgot.
And people got mad offensive.
It got cancelled.
Yeah. Wow. You can't play them games.
I didn't even realise this statistic.
Okay, but here's the issue. So the issue for me with Nick Cannon is, so they've cancelled him because he said that black people are the real Hebrew people. Now that isn't hold on. That isn't a racist statement. No, but even if he's wrong.
But it's been coined as an anti-Semitic
Is that the only thing that they hold in?
theory.
How?
Other things.
How is it? That's somebody's opinion. If he's saying that black people are the real Jews, you could. I'm guessing the Jews people can't even.
You've got to remember, we live in an environment where. Remember, it's a crime. It's a crime to deny the Holocaust, right?
Be careful where you're going with this.
But I'm just saying. Remember, it's a crime to deny the Holocaust.
Yes. Okay.
So
it's actually a crime.
Yeah. So when you're dealing with that realm of
okay, so that shows you the way that Jewish people have impacted the infrastructure of the world that we live in today.
All the information and how history
if
has
you talk about media, well, it's commonly known that Jewish people are at the top of the media chains. And if you talk about movies, it's commonly known that pretty much
even saying something like that can get you in hot water.
But it's a fact.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
That's like saying, hold on. That's like saying the average corner shop in Sheffield is not owned by an Asian man when they are. Like I'm not being disrespectful. Every black man will say, "Yo, we're gonna go to the boss man's shop," and we know who we're talking about.
The boss man is.
Yeah, we know who the boss man is, and it's just it's not a derogatory term at all. Actually, it's a term of endearment because we know say you own that shop. If you talk about the corner shop, what comes to your mind? Right, it's just what it is. Yeah, it's not the same in all cases, but in majority of cases, if you go around Sheffield, you go to the corner store.
Let me just point out something.
It's the same everywhere, more or less. So it's what it is. So if you say that in Hollywood,
you can't say the
Jewish people are running this behind the scenes. It's just a fact.
Have you noticed, right? If you listen to how I just read that article, right? Mm-hmm. There's a detail about what he said that hasn't even been.
What did they miss out?
No, it's not that they missed it out, but I'm saying the big issue is the fact that it's the whole anti-Semitism. Yeah. Right. He said something about white people as well.
I know, they missed it out.
I think.
To be fair, I thought he got cancelled initially because of what he said about white people.
But white people,
because it was
it's like when I've seen the narrative, it's like no, it's anti-Semitism.
Yeah.
He said something.
So what does that tell you?
It's.
I know what they said. Yeah, it was basically going along that. If you look at, I suppose if you look at the histories, white people look like savages in comparison, and your melanated people are more compassionate. Was the word? Pretty much what he said. They're more compassionate. It's in your melanin, and he's kind of proving it by saying, well, look at the behavior difference and look at the history. Cool. He's actually using tangible.
I don't know how the man got cancelled. Levels. Facts.
No, because he was always. When I saw the interview, I knew he was getting cancelled, and I'm guessing you knew the same, Tanashi. I knew he was getting cancelled.
Yeah, I knew he was getting. Yeah, it was almost like, okay, if I was Nick's friend, just like I'm Anthony's friend,
yo, bro,
fam,
you're right, but
if you're at that stage where you're self-sufficient and you're ready to
do your thing,
then do your thing.
Yeah,
but if you're still interested in working with these guys, then bruv,
allow it.
Just allow it.
They will cut you and get the next black man. Do you know what?
Yeah,
maybe. Hold on. Maybe. Do you know what? Because it was a little bit too much. So maybe he knew it was coming and he thought, I'm going to go out with a big bang. I'm telling you because he died on his sword. He died on his sword.
I do wonder if he had said these things about 3 or 4 weeks ago, would it
have caused? Probably he didn't time it well if he didn't want
in
to
the sense of, you know, when John Boyega was saying things.
John didn't say anything though. What did John say? And he didn't go.
John said things that would have got him cancelled.
It's not what he said about white people. It's what he said about Jewish people that got him cancelled. Yeah, don't get it twisted. It was the Jewish people. You know this already. You already know this. So that's what got him cancelled. And my only feeling is he knew that it was coming because he's been hot. Nick, if you watch Nick Cannon's interviews, and I've been watching him, he's been hot for months. Yeah, and as you said, as Joy said, he's been doing the Dr. Sebi documentary, which I can imagine an awful lot of people are not going to be happy with.
They are waiting.
So he probably thought, you know what, these lot are coming to get me anyway. I'm gonna die in my own way. Maybe he was just dying on his sword. You know what I'm saying? He's like, you know, if you're gonna kill me, I'm gonna go out with a bang. But anyway, there's a secondary issue here. I didn't know until today that these man sorted him out of his wild out. That's his thing.
I just read
Yeah,
that.
You can't even tell me a black person didn't create that.
I didn't know that. I didn't see
Okay.
that. That's deep. That's deep.
He basically made a post talking about how he trusted the network, and he spoke about promises that were made, etc., etc. But
Bro, if it's not on a dotted line,
what
don't sign.
is they own.
It's not contract.
They either own Wildin' Out or I don't know what happened, but he doesn't retain.
This is the story for black people so often.
And this is the thing that black people don't learn. He mentioned the word
It's not
trust. I was like, how can you
Trust?
trust
Don't
a
trust.
TV network?
No. Well, you know, TV networks have stolen programs from people and all sorts, and you're gonna trust them with it. Wildin' Out is clearly, and I don't care what anybody wants to say if they want to take offense. Wildin' Out is clearly something that has been designed by a black person full of culture.
Yeah.
Because just the narrative of how it goes down.
Well, that's
if you watch it,
You've got-
regardless of the people on the show, it's got mixed people on the show, which is great. But what I'm getting at, when you see how it works, that's our street culture.
Yeah,
That's quite
literally
new.
It's our clashing
collection
shit.
of
No,
thoughts.
No. The mixed race, like there's
Which is cool.
It's more mixed now. It wasn't like that before.
Cool. It's funny because the network got power.
The network.
Yo, we need some other faces here, which is fine. But the whole clashing scenario that comes from our people. Yeah, and it doesn't matter where you come from, whether you come from the African continent, you come from the Caribbean, like you come from America, we're all about, yo, wagwan, who's the best, who does this, who does that. We've always been like that. So you can see that was created by a black man.
They wanted to take that
So
down.
to find out, and I feel a little bit naive because I genuinely didn't know. To find out that he kind of trusted them, which is to me is daft. Yo,
Yeah,
what did your accountant say when you said that? What did your lawyer say?
Yeah, but you got to remember, he's been in bed with these guys since he was a teenager.
Oh yeah.
So
He probably thought it was cool. Fathered.
Fathered and then
groomed.
Like, yeah, literally, I can't use the word, but I didn't want to.
It's groomed.
They
It's
literally
groomed.
did that
If
to
they
me,
took
yeah.
it, if they benefited off the back of it, he did it. Groomed.
Well, the problem now is it sort of highlights the problem that even in the entertainment industry, whether it's in rap music or whatever, any black art form, when you look at the very top, it's usually owned
We're
by.
not at the top. We're not dominating.
Yeah, we
We're
don't
not.
even own rap
The puppets.
music. We don't.
No, it's somebody who doesn't even like rap music that's sat at the top.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Caking off all the money,
Counting
telling you
them
to go and buy yourself a bouncing car. Meanwhile, they're capitalizing off the thing.
Yeah,
that's just the truth.
Facts.
Here you go, buy yourself a car, do your thing. At least have their money. Their bottom line, your bottom line is very different.
It emphasizes the importance of
Ownership,
Yeah.
ownership
all the way.
But then at the same time,
What do you do when they hold the keys?
this also exemplifies how the system can crush any individuals that show any
That they want to get out from under
that they want to get out of
under their thumb.
and establish anything bigger or that might influence black people.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about what's his name? The guy that dresses like a woman,
Tyler. We're
We're gonna have to go. We're gonna have to. Wait, that's what he does, isn't it?
Yeah, Tyler Perry.
Yeah, Tyler Perry. Because at this stage, would you say that he's now self-sufficient because he owns his own studios?
Does he?
Tyler
outright?
is
Outright.
self-sufficient, but he's not untouchable. Just like
There's
how
limitations.
Bill had the same.
Yo, trust me, yo, Bill. They had to come from a different way.
Yeah,
So if Tyler keeps himself crystal clean, it's gonna be very. You'd say at this point,
It's hard
he's
to-
cool.
Nick thought he was cool.
Nick did think he was cool.
Shanice, what are you cutting up there? What are you doing? I'm thinking these sweets are hard to get into.